Just after 4:40 in the late afternoon time on the East Coast. It is July 30th. It is a Wednesday, and day 3 of Ravens padded training camp practice has just wrapped up. This live stream is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. I'll tell you more about them in just a bit, or you can just scan the QR code in the upper right-hand corner, or click on the link that's included in the show notes, or the one that's in the live chat if you'd like to learn right now. Here's what I got coming up for you. In this show, first and foremost, John Harbaugh spoke a short while ago confirming that Isaiah Likely will undergo surgery for a fractured foot. So we'll get into the specifics of that, what his time frame and timeline might look like, and where the Ravens go from here. And that has everything to do with the other two tight ends that are in the room, Mark Andrews and Charlie Kohler. And Charlie met with the media today, and he had a whole lot to say and continued a season-long, and I should say an off-season-long trend of taking a stand for Mark Andrews, his Ravens teammate. We've seen that from teammates, coaches, staff members, you name it. We'll play those for you in just a bit. Also, some Mike Green film that is super impressive. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But if you could on the way in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping my daily live content now that we're back in regular season formatting, if you will. And you can also become a channel member if you're interested in doing so. Just rolled those out here recently and looking forward to it. All right, let's get to it. And we'll begin with an injury report provided by Luke Jones from Press Box. He's been out there bearing that Maryland late July heat all week, really the last couple weeks. And for the third straight day, they've been in pads, as I mentioned. Isaiah Likely dealing with the foot. He did not practice today. Zay Flowers, Marcus Major, an undrafted rookie running back. Jalen Armour-Davis, Bilal Cohn, the rookie. Emory Jones, also a rookie who's dealing with a shoulder. Zay Flowers is probably the surprise on this screen. If you're looking at it for the first time, we'll get to what Isaiah's, Zay's, and Jalen's specific injuries mean in just a bit. Spoiler alert, you don't have to worry about any of them unless you really wanted Isaiah to take part in a full training camp, like, of course, we all did. He wanted to. The staff wanted to. But ultimately, he will end up missing training camp, and we'll see in terms of what his overall timeline is. Again, he is going to immediately have surgery. Maybe he already has at this point. It's going to stabilize a fracture in his foot. He was carted off the field Tuesday. It was a one-on-one rep against Sanusi Kane, the second-year safety out of Purdue. He's going to miss training camp. This is obviously a contract year for him and the rest of his tight end room. Both sides are optimistic, according to Diana Rossini, that he could return in early September. John Harbaugh confirming a lot of this earlier this afternoon.
I think the timeline I saw actually was accurate on the timeline that was reported. So we got a shot to get him back there right away early. We'll see. So that's the good news. You know, it's early in camp, and it's not one of those major type of deals. So, but it's something. You know, it's multiple weeks.
Not one of those major types of deals, but it's something. Again, wouldn't necessarily put a timeline on it, but if he's referring to essentially the 6-week time frame that we've heard from several national reporters, then maybe, just maybe, he's got a chance to return in early September. Week 1 seems like a long shot. And to be quite honest with you, if they feel like week 1 would be risky, why risk it? They are built to withstand this kind of early blow with the way that this roster is constructed. We're going to get to Mark Andrews in just a bit. Kind of get the feeling that he's going for an all-pro year. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up personal bests statistically this season. It's a contract season for him. You got Charlie Kohler, who's been knocking on the door, waiting for his opportunity to get involved. He may have a chance to do exactly that. And, of course, you got Pat Ricard, who is your perennial Pro Bowl all-pro fullback, but alignment-wise, he's got the versatility and the flexibility and the use to be able to play tight end here and there in terms of what his abilities are and speaking to the alignment that Todd Monken leans into. Now, if we want to look at this from a medical standpoint, let's kind of dig in here, courtesy of Matthew Betts. If you want to know who Matthew Betts is, well, I'll read you his bio on X. He's got over 40,000 followers. He's a physical therapist. He's a lead writer for the fantasyfootballers.com. He's an injury analyst. He's a number of it. He's got all kinds, but he's got a medical background, okay? He's a certified physical therapist. And so while we'll take it with a grain of salt, because obviously he doesn't have the medical records in front of him, he's not privy to that. Here are some of his initial thoughts that I wanted to share with some of you. The initial report of a rolled ankle and now small fracture, as we learned earlier this morning, suggests that this is probably a fifth. I have no idea how to pronounce this word right here. What is this? Metatarsal? Metatarsal, I think it is. He's referring to a fifth metatarsal fracture. The key difference is Jones fracture versus the avulsion fracture at the base of the fifth metatarsal. God, this is completely over my head, to be honest with you. Avulsion FX, much more reliable healing, but still very difficult to play in an NFL game just 6 weeks after surgery, especially after missing the entirety of camp. Baltimore will want to avoid this becoming a regular season issue, so ramp up needs to be slow to avoid setbacks. Lots of, quote, could be ready for week 1 reports. I'd be shocked, but even if he plays, return to play does not equal return to performance. It'll take some time before likely is himself, okay? So first of all, Bobby Medical, if you will. But why I brought this in is because of the latter half there. I think the elephant in the room here is probably coming to terms with the fact that Isaiah Likely is going to be far from 100% to begin this season. And I guess the question that'll linger is, well, how long and how much do the Ravens want to push it? That's up for them and obviously their medical team to decide. But in the meantime, when you got Mark Andrews, when you got Charlie Kohler, who's much more than just a blocking tight end, he just hasn't had a lot of chances to show it. When you've got a wide receiver core, the complementary duo that Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman have become, the veteran, the savvy player, the most active career leader in receiving yards across the league among pass catchers at the wide receiver position in DeAndre Hopkins. You've got Devontae Walker off to a strong start here in the early going of camp. We haven't even mentioned the 2 future Hall of Famers in Lamar and Derek. You are served. You are served well to handle an early blow like this. And you can withstand it, and you can sustain it. Obviously, you don't want it to linger too far into the season. Isaiah and Mark, let's be honest, these two as a combo have been exceptional together. They've combined for 17 touchdown catches last season. That's the most by any tight end combo in the National Football League last year. Lamar had 23 touchdown passes with multiple tight ends on the field. That was the most since Tom Brady in 2011. Some stats here put together by ESPN, shared by Jamison Hensley. It has been clear since the moment that Lamar came into this league how comfortable he is with his tight ends, how productive he is with his tight ends, and how much they are a focal point of a Todd Monken-led offense. And that will continue to be the case regardless of whether or not Isaiah Likely is back on the field. Because I got news for you. Some of Mark Andrews' most productive games last year, at least the case in this Week 10 example, were pretty darn effective. 94% route rate. That was a season high. He had 7 targets for a 21% share, 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. You want them on the field together. That's obviously priority number 1. But if you can't have them together, you already know that Mark can absolutely still eat, is willing to eat, is able to eat, and allows others to eat around him. So there you have it. And speaking of alignment, friend of the show, Warren Sharpe, who's been on in his bag lately, tweeted out the following, some food for thought and important notes, as he puts it, on the Ravens' loss of Isaiah Likely. The Ravens face the NFL's number 2 toughest schedule, weeks 1 through 4. Right out of the gate, it's a murderer's row. The first couple months for the Ravens, let's be honest, it's incredibly difficult, both from last year's performance, degree of difficulty, you name it. It's at Buffalo. It's home against Cleveland, a division foe. It's Monday Night Football at home against Detroit. And they round out the month traveling to Kansas City to visit the Chiefs. After that, it's Houston, Rams. Chicago should be a winnable game. Miami, we'll see what they're all about this year, so on and so forth. It's a difficult start to the season. And then you have all your AFC North games that are backloaded on the back end. More from Warren. It's not simply stock up on Mark Andrews. The Ravens played the number 1 lowest rate of 3 wide receivers last year. They played the number 1 highest rate of heavy personnel, including 2+ tight ends. The Ravens' EPA per attempt dips from plus 0.30 to plus 0.16 with likely off the field in the first half of games. Out of 3+ wide receiver sets, the Ravens' run efficiency dips to 11 in EPA and 21 in success rate versus ranking number 1 in both with 2 or fewer wide receivers on the field. More 3 wide receiver sets with less efficiency if he's out. Hopefully he's back for week 1 in Buffalo. Again, Todd Monken has the best opportunity, the best job in the world when you think about everything that is at his disposal. And one of those players is number 89, gearing up for an 8th NFL season, a contract year, and obviously, I'm sure he's chasing for his share of revenge after last year's game ended in the divisional round in Buffalo. Before we talk Mark and Charlie Kohler's passionate defense that he gave just a short while ago at the Ravens podium, this episode is brought to you by Preston Automotive Group. And you guys know it. The Bobby Baltimore Bronco has been very, very good to me. It'll be 2 years since I've been rolling around in that guy. Thought I lost you for a second, but it'll be 2 years in late September, early October since I've been running around in my 2023 Ford Bronco Sport. And I got to tell you, at Preston, Bobby Baltimore subscribers get access to 2 exclusive offers. And in order to redeem these offers, all you got to do is walk in to one of the dealerships, let them know that I sent you. One is $500 towards a new or pre-owned vehicle. And you can get started today by visiting the link in the show notes and also in the live chat that's pinned my comment. Or when you buy 4 tires, you'll get 50% off your alignment. Those are the 2 deals that exist for you as Bobby Baltimoreans. With over 2,000 vehicles to choose from, you've got home delivery available. Finding your next ride has never been easier. And when you shop with Preston, you're joining a trusted team serving Baltimore and beyond. And speaking of beyond, take a look. Go to the site. You can talk to an internet advisor 24/7 like a chat bot. You can fill out this information to quickly chat with them. Look at all their dealership options for those of you that aren't directly in Baltimore. I mean, take your pick. You can go to Georgetown, Delaware, Lewis, Delaware. Preston Ford West is my home dealership in Randallstown that I like to travel to. You've got Aberdeen, Maryland, Wilmington, Delaware. There's some Eastern Shore options for you. So, again, those are all your location options. And then probably the best part is perusing through the open inventory. Right now, you've got over 3,500 vehicles available. What is this? A 2021 Honda 4Man. That's kind of filthy. How about I kind of love the military look there, the hunting kind of look. Anyway, this is where you can all find vehicles of your choosing. Break it down by price, vehicle condition, year, make, model, dealership, body style. I mean, take your pick. Appreciate Preston very much for the continued support. And if you guys are interested, just scan that QR code that you see in the upper right-hand corner, get started, or just go to the show notes below. And as always, you guys know the drill. When you support my brand sponsors, you are directly supporting the show. Special thanks in advance. Charlie Kohler gave a passionate defense of his teammate, continuing an off-season long trend in recent weeks and months for Mark Andrews. We all remember what happened in the final moments of that divisional round loss to Buffalo in Western New York. Charlie Kohler with how he feels 6+ months later.
It's really frustrating. I know like people really care about their sports, but like to see how like terrible some things are being said, it's really, I hurt for him, and like I see it, and he does a really good job of like blocking it out and stuff, and he's like very strong. But yeah, some of those things that are being said is pretty messed up. Like I know that people are very passionate about their sports, but like he didn't kill someone. Like it's like we came up short. Like it sucks. It really sucks. But like to see the way people react to some of that stuff is really disappointing for someone I love and care about so much. So yeah, it does like make me upset. I understand people are emotional, but I wish people kept it above the belt a little bit more. I've been a fan. I am a fan. I yell at the Thunder when they're not playing well. The champions, by the way, OKC. But I still like. I do. It is frustrating to see how personal it gets sometimes, just because I care about him and Isaiah and all of our room and all of our team so much.
Well said by Charlie, and again, really echoing the thoughts of many of his teammates, including Lamar Jackson, and many of his coaches, including John Harbaugh, who have all seemingly been aligned on this since OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp has gotten underway, and there have been more media appearances, right? Like, this is what we've heard, and this is what we'll continue to hear. It's a passionate defense of their teammate, of their brother. And that's exactly what you should want if you're a Ravens fan. Everyone rallying around a player that came up small in a big moment, which was shocking to all of us, especially given his reliability track record. Maybe not in the postseason. He has not put forth his best postseason performances to date. In the regular season, we know who he is. He's an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowler. Listen to Kohler again. Quote, I know that people are very passionate about their sports, but he didn't kill someone. We came up short. It sucks. It really sucks. To see the way people react to some of that stuff is really disappointing for someone I love and care about so much. It does make me upset. I wish people kept it above the belt a little more. I absolutely love it from Charlie. He has every right to take a stand, to put his foot down, to back his teammate. And I got to tell you, the more and more you think about it, the more and more you hear about Mark, you listen to Mark, you start to think about the offseason and how long it was for him and how well he channels emotional things that happen to him. Sky's the limit for him this upcoming season. He might go off for a career year. It would not surprise me. AJ Gersh at AJ Gersh TV, one of the reporters out on the scene, caught this video of Mark earlier today, just dead sprinting, getting after it. He looks great. Spent most of his offseason in the Arizona area and in Baltimore as well. Based on everything you see, hear, and read coming out of camp so far, dude looks like he's hell-bent on getting revenge and turning this whole story and narrative around. Because if you think Mark Andrews doesn't still have it, isn't still Lamar's security blanket, isn't going to be leaps and bounds ahead of where he was this time last year, having dealt with a very severe car wreck, I got nothing for you. It's not sticking my neck out there to say this, but something tells me Mark Andrews is primed for a massive, massive bounce-back season in Baltimore. Elsewhere, again, one more reminder, 17 total touchdown catches last season between Andrews and Likely. That was the most by any tight end combo across the entire league. Lamar had 23 touchdown passes with multiple tight ends on the field. That was the most since Tom Brady in 2011. So, yeah, he's got a thing for tight ends on the football field. Elsewhere, speaking of the field, who wasn't on the field today? Sarah transcribed a few updates here from John Harbaugh that he gave at the podium, beginning with Isaiah. He's on that 6 to 8 week timeline, a potential early season return. He is going to undergo surgery, as we discussed, and won't need crutches in the aftermath of that foot fracture. As for Zay Flowers, it's an undisclosed setback of his. Some reporters on the scene noting that he was favoring something around the lower body in yesterday's practice. John Harbaugh referred to it as a camp type thing. We'll be back in a few days. Perhaps that's a soft tissue type of thing. And you want to be careful with him, knowing that he did not elect to undergo off-season surgery for that ankle that sidelined him from yesterday's postseason. When I say yesterday, it's that time of the day. I've been up since 5 a.m, and I can't speak anymore. Last season's postseason. And what about Jalen Armour-Davis? Oh, man, bubble wrap this dude. What a bummer. His injury is undisclosed. They're calling it an itis issue. It's not serious. Won't be out long. He'll be fine. What is an itis issue? Itis? Is that a What is itis? Is that a spelling error? Itis. Oh, often indicates tendinitis, which is inflammation of a tendon. But that's what AI overview says. In medical terminology, itis is a suffix that indicates inflammation. Okay, so maybe thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Not a spelling error by Sarah Ellison. I would never accuse her of doing such. And thank you to the live chat for taking care of me. Thank you very much. Oh, what else is going on around practice? Tyler Loop, good bounce back for him. As we keep saying, just trying to remain even keel. Don't get too high or too low when trying to evaluate a rookie whose pads just came on. He's trying to establish himself. 9 for 9 on field goal attempts today, according to Zarebek and others. That included a long of 53. Earlier this week, he struggled from inside 40, missing left. But a good bounce back day for Tyler, who has had his fair share of ups and downs. I suspect that'll continue. A lot riding on that guy's shoulders. And John Hoyland, of course, is the undrafted rookie who's going to be competing from Wyoming with Tyler, a day 3 pick. Speaking of picks, AJ talking about TJ Tampa, a second-year corner out of Iowa State. This time last year, he was dealing with a sports hernia surgery, double sports hernia surgery that really derailed the beginning of his rookie year. The 4th-round corner. I think he's a 4th round. Was he a 4th or 3rd? I want to say he was a 4th. But he had a big interception and a nice pass breakup during a one-on-one. So good for him. I know Mel Kiper certainly has been singing his praises, or was during the draft process. Feels like they have something in him. By the way, that interception was a ball that Cooper Rush apparently threw right to him, according to several beat reporters that were out there today. So just keep that in mind. And let's talk a little bit about Mike Green, because I know you guys can't get enough of these clips. First, it was the Cordell Woodland clip from earlier this week where he pancaked Zaire Mitchell-Payton. Zaire is one of the undrafted players out of Florida Atlantic at the tight end position. And since he is number 84, you guys let me know. It sure looks like, and courtesy of more video from AJ Gersh, it certainly feels like this Mike Green was Zaire again. Doesn't that look like 84? I mean, take a close look right there. There's the 8. Mike's obviously 45. And then watch at the end. There's a 4 right there, right there. There's a 4. So unless there's another 84, it looks like Zaire continues to match up with Mike Green. And while he hung in tight here on this rep, good God, is Mike ferocious. Courtesy of AJ. Great vantage point of Mike's get off, his tenacity. his relentlessness. Look at the gravity pull. Man, there is so much force and violence in the way that he rushes. Look at the physicality, the hand placement. This is a violent rep right here. But can we tip our cap to Zaire, please? Because he hung in tough on this one. And that is tough to maintain your balance and leverage when you got Mike Green coming in with a head of steam. Goodness gracious. So well done to Zaire. Well done on Mike's part. Whew, man, iron sharpens iron there for sure. Earlier this month, an anonymous NFL executive told Jeremy Fowler that Roquan Smith looked sluggish at times last year. He was an all-pro, and he was a Pro Bowl caliber player for the Ravens. But for Roquan standards, perhaps it was a little bit more left to be desired in terms of what he put on tape, particularly in the first quarter of the season. He caught up with the guys from Pardon My Take this week in an exclusive conversation, and you already know they addressed that exact topic.
Feel physically going into this year? There's been some talk, anonymous people. What do you say to the people? I saw the anonymous source that said you were maybe overweight last year. Mm-hmm. Kyle Van Noy came at him. That was pretty fun. Kyle Van Noy said, hey, Jeremy Fowler, tell that NFL assistant to eat a dick because Agent Zero is on some shit. And you're a B, I assume bitch, for hiding. Put your name on it. That's a good teammate. Do you feel good going into this camp?
Yeah, no, I feel really good. Probably the best I've felt in a while, like going into this camp. Really good, healthy, so excited about that. And at the end of the day, yeah, like there were plays and things like that last year, but I think obviously it's not to my standard, but I was all pro, if I'm not mistaken. Pro Bowl as well. So whoever it is, yeah, they can just say it. If I say something, I would say it. But tune in. Yesterday is the past. Tune in this coming season, and we'll see.
Listen, as someone who gets called fat a lot online, you just got to block out the haters. Don't listen to them. And I would assume that you should just take a picture with your shirt off. Yeah, like, I'm not fat. Yeah, look at this. It would shut everyone up pretty quickly.
It looks good. Yeah.
Is it weird though to have those type of criticisms where it's like you know your body, you know your play, and it's like now? And I do think the anonymous part is kind of bullshit. Like, when you see that online, are you like, what the hell is going on? Who the hell is saying this?
Yeah, I don't really care too much about it, truth be told. And I honestly didn't see it. I found out one of my homies from home actually sent it to me, like, after I got up in camp and said, hey, bro, some people are, like, talking. Because normally I don't have, like, Twitter or anything like that. And people not tagging me in those type things on, like, Instagram and stuff like that. So I don't really see it. But obviously, if I feel a certain way, I would normally say something. But normally people who are anonymous want to be anonymous for a reason. So that tells you who they are.
A little clap back there from Agent Zero. We covered it on the vault, but it warranted repeat this afternoon. Quote, obviously it's not to my standard, speaking to his play last year, but I was all pro, if I'm not mistaken. Pro Bowl as well. Yesterday is the past. Tune in this coming season and we'll see. Normally people who are anonymous want to be anonymous for a reason. So that tells you who they are. That from Roquan. A lot of it, you would think, in the early going had to do with Trenton Simpson, trying to bring him along as a first-year starter. Well, this will be actually his third upcoming season and trying to regain and re-earn last year's starting weak side inside linebacker alongside Roquan Smith. But he struggled. He struggled at times last year, and I think that in one sense, had a direct impact on Roquan. And then certainly when you think about how porous the pass defense was through 10 weeks, you know that has a trickle-down effect, particularly on the middle part of the defense. So I'll just say that. And I'm expecting, based on what we've heard from Roquan, what we've seen from Roquan in terms of his physique and where he appears to be mentally between the ears, expecting a big bounce back year for him. And it does feel funny to say a bounce back after an all-pro year, but both he and Mark Andrews appear to be chasing after that kind of revenge. Jeff Zaribek of The Athletic noted that Rowe was all over the field early in practice this week. I believe a Tuesday practice was what he's referring to here. He came in untouched on a few plays, knocked Derrick Henry down on one blitz, and blew up a screen pass to Justice Hill. Roquan said he focused on taking care of his body and getting into better shape this offseason. It's been noticeable throughout training camp. So there you go. Maybe some hard conversations had to be had internally, or he just looked himself in the mirror and said, hey, that wasn't good enough for me last year. Let's go fix it. Brian Wacker also noting that he's been very active, has Roquan, blowing up plays in the backfield and even chirping. And by the way, blowing up plays that would be outside of training camp, according to Brian's log, likely sacks. So good stuff for Roquan. I thought he handled that really well, really professionally, really maturely. And ultimately, he has a chance to go and prove that anonymous executive wrong, who obviously wanted to keep it anonymous for a reason. So he didn't have to answer it and answer to it. Elsewhere, I know some of you, oh boy, some of you will appreciate this one, being that you don't have to listen to him on First Take anymore. But former Baltimore Raven, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame tight end, and really, he's kind of a media mogul at this point. But Shannon Sharpe has been cut off by ESPN. Andrew Marchand and ESPN noting that, The Athletic and Andrew Marchand reporting that ESPN has cut ties with him less than 2 weeks after he settled a lawsuit in which his ex-girlfriend accused him of rape. He has not been on the network, meaning ESPN, since late April, and ESPN has declined to comment. Not too surprised about this. Not sure if Unk needs First Take, and not sure, quite frankly, if First Take needs Unk. Shannon's got his own ventures. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes in terms of this accusation. But based on some things that we've seen over the years, cough, cough, the Instagram live video that never should have went live, kind of get the sense that Unk is super freaky in his free time. But maybe that's just me reading in to something I know very little about. All I know, no more Shannon Sharpe. He'll continue to do Nightcap, I'm sure. He'll continue to do everything he's doing in the YouTube space. And who knows? Who knows what's next for Shannon Sharpe? But it is a very short-lived stint at the worldwide leader, ESPN. Super chats are coming in. Appreciate you guys for being here. There's over 350 of you concurrently between both platforms, meaning X or Twitter and YouTube. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. If you want to support my brand sponsors, if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, love to get your wheels at Preston. And if you do, scan that QR code, go to the show notes. If you find something you like, let them know I sent you. They're going to take $500 directly off your purchase. Super chats, Kathy Hensley. Thank you for holding me accountable. I'm having a brain fart a minute ago. I was like, what is itis? John Harbaugh says that Jalen Armour Davis is dealing with itis, an itis thing. Yeah, inflammation. Thank you, Kathy, reminding me that I have colitis. Yes, I do. Colitis. Oh, do I ever? Luckily, aside from the 2 weeks in Asia, which was really something, I haven't had many flare-ups lately. I've been keeping my diet pretty darn bland and feeling pretty good. So happy about that. I hope it continues. And thanks for the reminder, Kathy. Nick Marty says, Bobby, I don't watch these shows no more because it's always Downies, Lackeys, Tablies, LeBron, and other stupid topics. Downies, Lackeys, Tablies. Downies, Lackeys, Tablies, LeBron. Should I know what that is? Downies, Lackeys, Tablies. Obviously, the LeBron is like, well, what does this mean for LeBron's legacy? Those topics are, I mean, there's literally like a internet trend dragging ESPN because they've focused and concentrated so much of their programming around LeBron over the years that it's just completely overwhelming. But Downies, Lackeys, and Tableys are totally going over my head. Am I missing something? I don't know. Interesting. Absolutely no idea. Okay, Nick says, oh, thank you, Nick. Okay, I'm sorry, Nick. Cowboys, Lakers, and Yankees. You had me tripping there. But yeah, that is a lot of what they're just responding to ratings. They're responding to the way that certain markets dictate viewership and ratings and interest and debate, right? So much of what they do is surrounding debate, surrounding those teams right there. No question. Cowboys, Lakers, Yankees. You can add Caitlin Clark into that. You can add, what else do they overcover? Kansas City gets quite a bit of traction, but deservedly so. Dallas is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversation surrounding Baltimore sports. And it's not Shannon Sharpe. It's this right here. Would love for you to join. It's free. And I'm dropping the link to do so in the live chat right now. Again, totally free. Great place to meet other like-minded Ravens fans, and you can literally chat about a lot more than just football. That's what's going on here. A lot of gifts being sent around. Evan's always in the house. What else? Baseball, MLB trade deadline. Obviously, it's a busy day. Lots of chatter here. Maryland Terps. General chatter. Bobby After Dark is always good. Only one person responded to this yesterday. Can you believe this? Jabo, and I didn't even respond back to him. Sorry, Jabo. Yes. So I just booked a bye-week trip in October, the 13th to the 19th of October, in Banff, Canada. Banff, Alberta. I am very excited. Banff and Jasper, I'm thinking about checking out. 2 national parks. Renting a car, flying into Calgary, flying out of Edmonton. So I'm excited for that. But anyway, Bobby After Dark tends to get a little rowdy. In recent days, it's been pretty quiet, but we got to get that going again. Looks like somebody just joined. A couple people just joined. Members number 885 and 886. Welcome to Mike and welcome to Lurchy. Thank you, guys. Hell yeah. Appreciate you for being part of the group. And again, if you missed it, I just dropped the link in this live chat. And you can also do the same by visiting the show notes below. With that, check out thevaultpod.com/shop if you haven't already. Our apparel line is live. It's been getting some pretty darn good traffic. I'm excited about it. We're going to continue adding to it, by the way. So if you have feedback, hit us up at BaltimoreRavensVault@gmail.com. Shirts, sweatshirts, crew necks, they all come in different colors, by the way. I just had this white sweatshirt delivered to me. It is so silky smooth. I love the fit on it. So that's a good option. Crew neck for the fall, why not? Tank tops, you already know Sarah got the women's fitted version. I got one of these unisex premium tank tops. I think I got this one right here with the actual Vault writing on it. More women's relaxed tees. You got some Under Armour dry fit meshy type material with some golf polos to go along with it. So I'm excited about. The beanies, snapback is off the chain right now, honestly. Somebody actually just hit me up last night, I think, with an Instagram story tag. I'll get to that in just a second. But the dad hat could be good for your pops. More beanies, more hats, bucket hats, koozies, mugs. My mother just got this one right here. Stickers, car magnets. I mean, what more could you possibly want? Thank you for the support. We're considering opening up certain discount windows on the vault coming up in the next few weeks, meaning like, hey, let's say we hit 100 gifts. So 100 channel memberships are gifted. Let's just say that's the case. Then we're thinking about if that number is hit, then we open it up at like a 20% discount rate to everybody for 24 hours. Like we're just kind of like spitballing back and forth with those kinds of ideas. And I just wanted to say shout out and thank you to, let's see who tagged me. Yeah, Bradley LaFoon. Take a look at Bradley LaFoon's merch. Oh, wait a second. That was quick. He got the black sweatshirt, a koozie, and the snapback. Okay, Bradley. You can check this out, by the way, at my Instagram page, Bobby Baltimore. You guys know where to find me. Black sweatshirt, koozie, snapback. Appreciate you, Brad. Thanks for the love. And thanks to all of you guys for hanging out today. Got to go help my buddy move, actually, here in upstate. And it's just exciting times right now. We got a lot that we're working on behind the scenes. I'm absolutely exhausted, but in the best of ways. And it's all doable and possible because of you guys. So thank you for the continued support. I hope you're gearing yourself back up for multi-stream days because that's where we're at right now. And the month of August is almost here, and it's going to be insane. Weddings. I'm going to a conference in Vegas, extended my trip to Lake Tahoe to see my cousin who's pregnant. Hopefully some more lake time in Cooperstown at the family cottage. The Friday going into Labor Day weekend, I'm going to hit the road and go down to St. Pete. So this is going to be something else. It's a lot coming up this tail end of the summer, and I hope you guys are enjoying it just as much as I am. Nick Marty with one more super chat on the way out. He says, sorry, Bobby. For some reason, every time I try to text with a super chat, it's always messing things up. I still am worried about the defensive line depth. I get that. When you lose Michael Pierce, who was a staple in 2 different stints for your team, that's a big loss. And yeah, look, I think Travis Jones absolutely can fill his shoes. And they went in and who'd they bring in again? John Jenkins was the late summer signing, right? Or the late offseason signing. So you have depth there. I just think the world of Travis Jones, and had he not dealt with those ankle and those lower body issues last year, the dude was playing like lights out. Totally lights out. So I hear you. That's an area that we'll be watching just because of what they lost. But the reality is if Nnamdi Madubuike can have a 2023 kind of season, maybe that's asking a lot. But if he can get that interior push, if Mike Green responds well to the rotations that he's inevitably given right out of the gate, if Kyle Van Noy continues to sip from the fountain of youth, if Odafe Owe plays motivated with a motor, and what's a contract year for him, I like what they're going to be able to get productivity-wise. But you're going to need some ball hawking on the back end, and you're going to need sound fundamental defense in the middle, particularly from whoever ends up earning that job alongside Roquan in the weak side linebacker position. Trenton Simpson, you would think, is in pole position. Can Teddy Buchanan have something to say about that when it's all said and done? That remains to be seen. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all of you. Thanks to Preston Automotive Group for the continued support. You already know. Go check out the Broncos sports that they have available, or the actual Broncos, or the trucks. They got some filthy, including like a Ford Mustang Mach-E, the EV vehicles. They got great stuff. Go peruse. Go check it out. Let them know I sent you. Stop by one of the dealerships if you're around that area. All that can be found in the show notes and also in the live chat right now as a pinned comment. So thanks for spending some time with me this afternoon, this early evening. Sarah and I will be back on Thursday at 12 noon Eastern. We look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you guys probably tomorrow afternoon yet again. Let's go 5 for 5 this week, shall we? In multi-stream days, why not? Thanks, guys. Like the video, subscribe, notification bell, la, 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 la. Talk to you guys soon. Later.